In our last conversation, we spoke about 52 Arabs that we represent. We have the privilege to represent them in our law firm here in Jerusalem. And we represent people who were arrested, kidnapped, and tortured, sometimes to death, by the PLO, the Palestinian Authority, only because they suspect they are helping Israel to prevent terror attacks. They save life and risk their life. For years now, we represent them and we try to bring justice to court. We receive the longest verdict in Israel of 1,900 pages who say that they have liability, the PLO have liability for those 52 people, Arabs who were kidnapped and tortured. And now we are on the damages stage. I'm very happy to give great news and updates from this case that finally, we just yesterday received for the first time a decision that the State of Israel will give the money from the PLO money who is held in Israel. Israel is transferring 700 million shekels, around 600, 700 million shekels every month to the Palestinians, tax money and so on. And we get hold of this money for the first time in the history of Israel. We are able to take the money from who is held in Israel and to give it back to the victims. So instead that the PLO will give this money to terrorists who are sitting and kill hundreds of children and women, as we know that Arabs, the Palestine Authority give 1 billion shekels every year to terrorists who committed crimes and terror. Instead, to give this money to them, we are supporting today people who save life. We are supporting today people who were a victim of kidnapping and torture and terrible stories that the PLO did to them. And today we give them the base that we can. We say to them, thank you for your support, and we are starting to give them back a little bit from what they lost. It's a very, very good news and special news to know that it's for the security of Israel and for the moral issues. We need to help those people and support them. And we received a decision yesterday that the first money will go to them.
Except for the good news and big success of your office, it's a message to the world.
Yes, people speak about human rights organization. You know, we applied 230 different organizations. Almost nobody wanted to help those poor people. Our law firm in Jerusalem were the only one who did it. We took the case, we fight it, and we are very happy to see today the start of the fruit. This is only the beginning. Now we are going inside a very long process of 2 years of the damages stage. And hopefully we will receive the support from all the world, because the message is very clear to the world. Terror, we don't support terror, we fight terror. And if somebody helps us to prevent it, to save life, we will support him and help him. There are tortures. In the 21st century, we have people who torture other people, their own brothers here. The PLO authorities, the Palestine authorities so-called, they torture those Arabs, sometimes to death. 50% of them cannot bring children to this world because of the tortures. And everybody was quiet. The world was quiet. It's time to say enough. We are not quiet anymore. We will help those people. We will help the good side of the story, and we will protect those human rights and stop torturing, and we will helping them to receive a little bit of comfort.
This is the first time that you discover the real face of the PLO.
This is amazing to see. As I said before, we approach also 230 so-called human organizations who are registered here in Israel. So the PLO, not only they are breaking the law and they are torturing people for years. They kidnap people, they put them inside stinky holes for years, giving them all the time, torturing in ways that I cannot even describe because it's so brutal. Sometimes raping their relative, threatening them to death, burning them with fire, and things that you cannot. It's very difficult. Also, us as lawyers, it's very difficult to read all those kind of things. So we are saying to this stop, and we are revealing this big problems that are happening here in our front yard, in our backyard. We need to go there and to stop this. Now, everybody wants to speak about human rights and have a moral emotion about justice. Need to come and join us by fighting these cases and by supporting those people who protect human beings. They went and helped us to prevent terror attacks, to prevent suicide bombers to suicide themselves with children and women in buses. And we need to get, what we are doing instead, we need to support them. We need to be there for them. It's a long process. We hope the states of Israel will continue to help us. It took us a lot of time to convince them to hold this money. It's for the first time in the history of Israel that a law firm is able to do so, to hold money and to receive money. It's only the beginning. The money will be used now only for the doctors who will come to examine the damages of those people. The money is going to this thing to pay all the legal fees and the doctor fees for the damages stage. We're starting now. Hopefully, we will be able to give a little bit of comfort because those people did it for the mall of the world. They did it for us. They save us. It's time for us to save them.